Kuzuzambo, a very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Ken. Our top stories this week: Her Majesty the Geltsin awarded the certificates of recognition to Samtsi, Tsirang and Thimputomde for best environmental initiatives. Bhutan 1, the country's first satellite is launched. And the country's trade deficit increased to 29 billion nitam last year from 24 billion in 2012. Samtsi Dzongkhag was awarded the certificate of recognition by Her Majesty the Geltsin as the best Dzongkhag to take up various environmental initiatives. Samtsi was followed by Tsirang and Thimputomde. The awards were granted during the opening of the annual Environmental Officers Conference in Thimphu.
Her Majesty the Geltsin awarded the certificates to winning districts. An environmental conservation competition was conducted nationwide on the theme Beat Plastic Pollution on World Environment Day last month. It was based on the activities initiated and carried out in their respective areas.
The students, they have had also conducted door-to-door waste management campaigns. And then along the highways from the other relevant stakeholders, such as like Royal Bhutan Police, they have also created awareness to all the drivers not to throw the waste from their moving vehicles. One of the very important thing that we have taken during this World Environment Day was to move the Samtsi Dzongkhag from use of single-use plastic plates and cups to the eco-friendly bioplates.
Giyongi netsinagi that tisung disu nim disu tisung shu. Telen disumbe zomdi that mile asha zombe be the chapkobi zomdi. The handalung achigi the chusho the gipshogi the thal the pop disu membershimda betsuwachin the thalida panchuda pop tore telen teng acharagi tapasedu the anizumsung achigi mirara sosogi rarasa tafugi lusumbe bawmachin the gipshole chushule tembigi change that the halamchi the map of chaptune mess no digibe that the ngagibe ochin leri mahizub channel the legend session be.
Plastic waste is collected and then it's converted into commercially valuable products like fencing poles, flag poles, flower pots, and that is done in partnership with the Green Road. And with regard to our paper waste, paper and cardboard waste are collected and it's transported to Jimina paper recycling plant where it is converted into egg tray plant.
14 schools were also awarded the certificate of recognition for their active involvement in reducing, reusing, recycling and rethinking of waste of 4 hours. Environment officers from 20 districts and from this will discuss and resolve prominent issues and challenges in the conservation of environment during the conference. This is Ringdandu for BBS News.
Bhutan 1, the country's first satellite, was launched last month. The Cube satellite was sent to the International Space Station on board the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. The satellite was built by 4 Bhutanese studying space engineering in Japan.
3, 2, 1.
Bhutan's first satellite, weighing a little over 1 kilogram, took off today from NASA's air station at Florida in USA. The miniature satellite is expected to take around 3 days to reach the International Space Station. However, the satellite will become operational only from mid of August.
After 3 days, it will be delivered to International Space Agency, Japanese International Space Agency. So from there, it will be launched most probably in the 2nd or 3rd of August. And for this, to monitor, to do all these things, we have built the Earth station here in our MOIC rooftop building. And from there, we'll start monitoring and we are even developing software also.
Without a satellite of its own, Bhutan has been depending on other countries.
Space technology and space, if you use satellite, it doesn't come cheap. It is very expensive and we are dependent on some other countries. And we thought that there is potential if we try to study and try to have some own some sort of satellites.
With this satellite, Bhutan can now take photographs from space, collect data from remote sensors like weather stations, monitor water level and forest coverage, and do many more, which was not possible before. 4 Bhutanese studying space engineering at the Kyushu Institute of Technology in Japan have been working on the satellite since 2016. The project was funded by the government.
Naturally, Gakapnalu, the Dizumigi, Ladi, Besu se Hema Kagia Noramano, Seshuni. The Tare satellite Chunkudit, the Nankata, Boletendi Gibe, Digibe, naturally Gakaplu, Atichi Pentong, Seshuni. The Hanigi Shule, the satellite ki La, the Lasha Besuvigi, Chudup, naturally Topchi, Seshuni. The satellite ki La, Diwa Boom, Diwa Mam, Beuleten, Bevigaleben, the naturally Gakaplu, the Nami Sami.
However, the lifespan of the satellite is only 6 to 9 months. 3 CubeSats from Bhutan, Philippines and Malaysia were delivered to NASA by the Japan Space Exploration Agency last month. For Pimseong, Yishe Gelton, BBS News.
Given the country's huge dependence on imports, Bhutan's trade deficit has been increasing over the past years. The trade deficit has increased to 29.7 billion ngutam in 2017 compared to 24.7 billion in 2012. That means the country is importing more than what it exports. This, the Prime Minister said, is a cause for concern. As per Bhutan trade statistics, from a mere 1 billion in 2008, the trade deficit reached 24.7 billion ngutam in 2012, which is the highest seen during the 10th plan. However, 2013 and 2014 saw a decrease. It stood at 21 billion. But again in 2015 and 2016, the trade deficit reached an all-time high of 32 billion. During that period, Bhutan's top imports included diesel and choppers besides rice and other food items. That being said, the government brought it down to 29.7 billion in 2017 by increasing exports. During that year, Bhutan exported goods worth 37.3 billion ngutam. Export of electricity played a major role in narrowing the trade deficit. The other exports include silicon products followed by other mineral-based products. According to the State of the Nation report, the government is optimistic about seeing a decrease in the trade deficit with renewal of India-Bhutan Agreement on Trade, Commerce and Transit in 2016. Moreover, with the commissioning of many hydropower projects and a few of them nearing completion already, the government expects to reduce trade deficit with the export of electricity from these hydropower projects. Pup KM for BBS News. Construction of commercial and residential houses has started in the new Doksum town in Tashyangtse. Despite many grievances shared by the plot owners in the past years, today many of them have started the construction. Doksum is also the Yanlak Thomde of Tashyangtse. The new Doksum town was relocated a few years ago. Today, construction of new houses has already begun and workers are seen busy in completing the houses at the earliest. The town development works began in 2013. Until now, the owners were unhappy with the design of the houses. But today, with some changes, constructions got underway. They had requested for a basement and it was approved. Once complete, the new town will have 2 storied houses with same designs.
At the old place, the area is small and there is risk of flooding and landslides. Here, we don't have such problems. With the development of town here and Kolongch project coming up, we hope it will be better here.
We had
a space problem at the earlier location. The government gave us plots here, and with the project coming up, we hope there will be development here.
These houses will be rented out to Kolongchu Hydro Energy Limited. The project, instead of constructing their own housing colonies, has agreed to use these houses. During the construction of the plant, the project would require 200 units of houses and during operation 100 units. But some plot owners say they are struggling with shortage of timber.
If we get loans and timber permit without any obstruction, it would be convenient and we are ready for construction. We also have water supply here.
Since we are the first ones to construct houses here, there is not much problems. Water and electricity is not a problem. Even if there is problem, we try to solve it ourselves. We also have enough space to keep construction materials. It is very convenient.
According to forestry officials, the plot owners of the area were given rural timber subsidy, though it is a town. Forest officials also said there is enough of timber at NRDCL depot, but people are very selective on quality of timber. However, a joint meeting is expected to be held tomorrow regarding the issue. There are 40 commercial and 150 residential plots here, and locals are hopeful for a better future in the new town. For Sringzam Intashyangsi, Pupgame for BBS News. People constructing buildings in the new Bumthang town are facing shortage of sand and stone. This is making it difficult for them to abide by the unique construction regulations specific to Bumthang, with the municipal office implementing the regulations strictly. Likewise, the office is also finding it difficult to control all the construction works as per the regulations, with unauthorized structures sprouting up. The new Bumthang town, which has 3 local area plans, namely the Jamkar, Dekiling and Jalikar, is spread across over 9 square kilometers of land. Landowners are yet to receive their land ownership certificates, but they are issued provisional lagtams, which allows them to construct houses in the town area. 72-year-old Sange's partially complete 2-story house is the first structure being built in Jamkar.
I think the shortage will become more acute in the future. First of all, this will affect the construction work. Secondly, if people use substandard sand and stones available in their registered lands for construction, I think it will affect the stability of the houses in the future. People will start constructing more and more houses now, so it would be convenient if the concerned agencies can make raw materials readily available here.
We have to get sand either from Gelbujing in Mongar or from Wangdipoda, which becomes very expensive for us. Likewise, we have to bring gravels from Kurichu in Mongar. Similarly, timber is also not readily available, as most portion of the forests nearby are part of the town planning.
Some people are using sand available at a quarry in Karshong in Chumigyok, but the quality of sand is not good. Likewise, some are using the sand dug from a private land at Pomrong in Tangyok. Although what the municipal office is doing is to standardize the constructions and has long-term benefits for the people. But as of now, people are facing difficulties.
The municipal office, however, is facing its own challenges in controlling the constructions. Due to the scarcity of the construction materials, some people illegally use readily available local hollow blocks or imported bricks. The office has either imposed penalties on them or rectified their construction.
We have 3 local area plans which make monitoring all the constructions very difficult. We just have 1 building inspector, an urban planner and an engineer in the municipal office, so it's difficult to visit the sites every day. We go for inspections twice a week, but people finish constructing structures using unauthorized materials such as hollow blocks and bricks within a few days when we cannot go for inspection.
District Engineer Ishadoji said the Zongkak administration and the NRDCL tried to set up a stone quarry at Dur in Chukurgeok, but failed to get public clearance. He also said sand in Bumthang is mountain sand, which is not of good quality. He further added that there is no potential to quarry sand on large scale in Bumthang. As per Bumthang's development control regulations, only stone masonry is allowed for construction of exterior parts of buildings. This is to preserve traditional Bhutanese architecture and design. Hollow blocks and bricks are, however, allowed for construction of interior parts of the buildings. For Kipchu in Pumta, Pupkem for BBS News. The 3 most populated districts in the country are said to have poor sanitation facilities. According to the 2017 Population and Housing Census of Bhutan, Thimphu, Samtsi and Chuka have the highest number of households with unsanitary toilets.
13,000 households in Thimphu, Samtsi and Chuka are without access to improved sanitation facilities. And Ha, Lindsay and Gasa have less than of households without access to proper toilets at 1,000 households each. However, around 74% of households in Bhutan have improved toilet facilities that are either a flush toilet, ventilated improved pit latrine with slab and a composting toilet. The Population and Housing Census of Bhutan report also shows that at least 2% of households or more than 3,000 households in the country do not have a toilet facility at all. However, the number of households without a toilet facility is a huge drop from more than 12,000 households in 2005. This scenario is more prominent in rural areas. Kiladem, BBS News.
In the 12th five-year plan, all district hospitals are expected to get at least 1 clinical counselor and a psychiatrist in each regional hospital. This is to help address mental health issues. Mental illness can also affect family and friends in different ways. We bring to you the story of a mother and her sick daughter in Tsirang living with this sickness and the challenges they face every day.
Dangrebu village under Kilkor Thangyok is home to 39-year-old Bishnu Maya Subha and her 21-year-old daughter Srijana. For a long time, Srijana has been suffering with mental health problems and her mother has been enduring the struggle along with her. Srijana had to quit school at 16 because of the sickness and has been living at home since then. Her mother has since been taking care of her while also working in the fields to earn money. Srijana says dropping out of school will remain her biggest regret.
She was a brilliant student. She used to get top positions in her class. Her teacher also told me that she is good in studies. When she gets sick, sometimes she will not even drink a sip of water for more than 15 days, and sometimes she eats more than 2 kg of rice in a day.
I long every day to go to school. Due to my sickness, I have to avoid eating onion, garlic and ginger, and these spices are all added in the school mess. If I eat them, it will make my illness worse. Yes, I feel sad. All my friends have completed their studies and settled at different places, but I'm still at home.
Srijana was referred to Gelifu Hospital and has been on medication ever since. Her mother also took her to several shamans and spiritual healers, and in these 4 years of treating her, Bishnu says they have incurred huge debts.
I don't know if I can repay the amount back or not. We had to buy medicines, take her to the local healers, and conduct rituals at home. I borrowed more than 700,000 yuan from my relatives. Sometimes, when she is seriously ill, she will even try to strangle me, or she will hit me with anything she can grab with her hands. I have to be extra careful and I live in constant fear. She might either kill me or she might kill herself.
I try and force myself to sleep so as not to torment my mother. That eases my sickness and that is what I do for now. When we get sick, we remain in sense, but we won't have control over the mind. I understand that because my mind is not matured yet, so the spirits easily possess it. I feel that the more mature it gets, the better I will become.
Srijana realizes the stress she has put on her mother and does what little she can to help. Days seems to be getting better, with Srijana showing improvements every day. Her mother says she has become calmer now and doesn't run around without clothes. But this is not the only such case in Tsirang. Thimphu Hospital has so far recorded 47 cases of mental and behavioral disorders. For Namgyeonchu in Zirang, Samtin Dolkar, PBS News.
Samdujungkar Thomde has appealed to the High Court over the Santopuri land dispute case with a private individual. In the judgment passed by the district court last month, the Thomde was asked to pay more than 27 million ngatam to Tiledoji as compensation. Meanwhile, Tiledoji was told to surrender the land along with the Santopuri and 2 double-storied buildings to the Thomde within 2 months.
The Thomde in its appeal letter states that they are not satisfied with the judgment. They say they are not seizing or possessing private property, but rather claiming rightful and legitimate ownership. The letter says the government paying compensation for private property built on government land is totally incomprehensible and irrational. It also mentions that the Santopuri and the buildings were built with the then Home Minister's permission for the public and not for 1 or 2 individuals. The appeal letter also states, despite providing all evidences of Tiledoji selling a portion of the government land and also mortgaging the land with the RACBL, the district court did not reflect any judgment on the issue. Tiledoji, a private individual, had filed a case against Samdujungkar Thomde in 2015 after he received a notification from the National Land Commission. The letter directed him to hand over the land to the Thomde. For Kilawangchuk in Samdujungkar, Kiladem, PBS News.
Introducing beehive folders has eased the problems caused by ants in Dopuchen Geok in Samtsi. The livestock officials in Doroka identified the species as black ants, which affected beekeeping on a large scale. It has been about a month since the farmers started using new beehive folders, and it's proving successful.
The new structure is the brainchild of a beekeeping enthusiast, Chemnath Timsina. It took him about a year to come up with the idea and construct about 20 such holders. Water at the base of the holders is keeping the ants away. Although it solved the problem of ants invading the beehives, Chemnath said construction of a holder costs more than 1,000 ngutam, and this is expensive for beekeepers.
Through
my knowledge and experience, I constructed one such beehive holder for trial, and it prevented the ants from entering the hives. Then I built many, and even now I am constructing some more. Such a design will benefit the bees too, because they need not travel far for water. Now we do not have ants at all.
We have been visited the site, and now we are successfully preventing the ant with the installation of new design in our local system, where the ant can prevent water can prevent the ant passing towards the hive. Now people usually spray kerosene, petrol to chase away the ants, but it has side effect to the bees, where the smell is affecting the working of bees. But however, when we put water in the strain, that has the double advantage.
The new beehive frames are currently under observation, and if it further proves successful, the livestock officials plan to encourage other beekeepers as well. The beekeeping group is expecting to extract at least 1,000 kilos of honey this year. The livestock officials distributed a minimum of 2 modern beehives to almost all the beekeepers in Dofuchen Gewok. For Damchuzam in Samsi, Sunampem for BVS News.
With the start of summer break in schools, students of Buli Central School in Shemgang are hoping to put to use their newly acquired agricultural skills. Basic agricultural lessons were taught to students before heading home. This is to make students spend their time meaningfully and help their parents back home.
More than 200 students, some for the first time, get to experience how paddy transplantation is done. This is right before they go home for their summer vacation. The students are from grades 8, 9 and 10. Students share, besides getting to learn new skills, this has boosted their interest in farming. They say they can now help their parents, who most of the times face shortage of labor, and help them complete paddy transplantation on time.
Here we learn what to do in the fields, how to prepare the field, and how to transplant paddy. Now we can help our parents back home with the farm work.
In the past, we did not do any work. We would lie around doing nothing. But after getting to learn these new skills, we can help our parents when we go back home.
The school started this program from last year after adopting a few acres of fallow paddy fields.
From last year, we were given land by Buli Aji, and we started this to basically make the school self-sufficient and also impart agricultural knowledge to the students. Most of the students were very interested. Some were new to this, and those who already had some knowledge shared it with others.
Last year, around 1,000 kilograms of rice was harvested by the school. For Pema Samrup in Jamgang, Yishe Gelson, BBS News.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. This is Webcam saying goodbye.